Hello, everyone. Today on Trash It, we'll be discussing entitlement, not entanglement. Adi, don't look at me. It's not entanglement, it's entitlement. And in the virtual studios, we've got Ade, Jagojantis, a very quiet Samira, and my lovely co-host, Celia. Now, the reality star, I hate to call her a reality star, but I can't really phantom what she does. I know she produces, but of late, she's blown up as a reality star of the young, famous, and African, right? Annie Macaulay Idibia and her older brother, Wisdom, went on a social media spat where Wisdom accused her sister of stopping to continue to fund his lifestyle and made numerous allegations, which include the use of illicit substances. Although Wisdom has recanted what he said, but we're going to be talking about entitlement really today. Let me go to the panels. I'm going to start with Ade because Ade tends to blow things. Is that kind of person you need a bazooka to go off? You go to Ade. Ade, let me go to you. Because I know on social media, you were posting some things. When Wisdom went on this rant on social media, what came through to your mind?
You have families and siblings that believe if you're the breadwinner of the family, the sole person with the income, you have a duty. Yeah, not an option, no, it's a duty to cater for us. When I mean us as in the brother, the kids, whatever, everybody. So that's the way. And I think we also accepted it in our culture to say we have to carry the whole things because we're the breadwinner of the family, we're the one with the income, we're the most successful one. We also want to be the one distributing means to everybody, right? And if you've done that to your siblings and they've seen that as their own means that they enjoy and you're giving it when they come, they cry. Even before they cry, you're already saying to their wife, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of that. You've given them the open door to come to you anytime, any day. So those are the things you will get, okay? And for you to now withdraw that back is, to them, is unfair. You're not being nice, But really and truly, if you want to be successful, you have to be brutal in a way.
Hold on to your brutality. Let me move swiftly to Jagojantis, because when this was blowing up, I was following closely myself and Celia. Jagojantis, from what Adi has said, if we drill it down, the role of the richer sibling within the family is that they have to naturally carry the heavy lifting. So was Wisdom justified in his anger, given that this is how the modus operandi has been within their household?
He was just ranting under influence. I don't think that's something he would do if he was in his right senses. I don't think so. He was talking under influence of drugs or cannabis or whatever he has taken.
Canadian loud.
Yes. Yes, he has definitely taken something loud. So if you wake him up and be like, do you remember doing this video? He will say, no, I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't me. I was under influence. That's all I have to say about that particular bit.
Okay. Well,
Can I come in?
Sure.
If you look at the video, he wasn't under any influence, all right?
It
is feeling of entitlement that the sister has stopped this and is not doing this again, or is not letting me have this. That's it. Because he's come back to now apologize to say what he wasn't under at that moment. He might have taken drugs before, which have now clouded the way his brain functions when it's normal. All right. But at that point of that video he made, he wasn't under influence. I saw the video. I looked at the guy properly. Right? And that's not the video one of our siblings done. They're crazy like that.
Okay. Now, men tend to be very bravado about how they make decisions. Women are very more nurturing. We don't want our siblings to be embarrassed when they're going through issues. So let me go to Celia. When this video came up, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Is like, okay, were you blaming Annie that, okay, why are you not fixing your brother? Why did you let the whole thing cascade onto social media? Or what were your thoughts? It's like, is this normal?
Okay. Birimi, did you want to say something before I start? Sorry.
Yeah, because, there is this proverb that says, nǹkan tó bá ń bẹ nínú ẹni lọ tí ń pani mọ́.
Okay, so if you are someone that harbors something when you're drunk, that
That's when you
comes
let
out
it
because
out.
you've got no control. There's no way of
Yes.
sense checking what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Everything will
Walk
come
on.
out. So if you're under influence, what you've been nurturing in your mind that you weren't able to say because you know it is wrong to say, then you'll be able to,
Right.
air it. Because at that point, you're under influence of either alcohol or drug or whatever.
So
you're
we know that the alcohol inhibits your ability to lie. You come out with the truth. Okay,
yes, you can
that's
say
what
that
alcohol
as well.
does. That's why
But
you
you
see
know-
a lot of, I'm sorry to say, you British people, a lot of British people, right? I wouldn't say a particular
That's why you're saying
color.
what is right.
When they have a
But
glass of wine, they're all over the place normally.
Yes, but when you're saying what is not right, like sense of entitlement, thinking because she's been doing it for you, it is now your right. And you wanted to talk, but you couldn't talk. Now that you are taking some loud, either Canadian loud or Igbo loud, you now think, yes, let me talk. You now recorded it, posted it on social media, you done the damage. Now everything has cleared from your face. You're now realizing, oh my God, did I do this much? That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Going back to the question I was asked, when I first saw the video, I just did not understand how someone's older brother, right?
Yeah.
How someone's older brother will come out and say something like that about their sibling. Because me, I love all my siblings and I'll do whatever I need to do for them within that I can. And I do not see myself doing that to any of my siblings, be it older or younger. And as an older brother, you're supposed to be protective of your siblings. Never mind your younger sister. You're supposed to be protective, and for him to just come out and start blurting all those nonsense about Annie, I felt very disappointed in him. And I thought to myself, okay, well, let's assume Annie was doing all those things and for some reason she has stopped doing it. Must you come here to what do you want us to do? To go and tell Annie to continue what she was doing before? So I found it very weird. And again, maybe he was under the influence of something, but regardless of that, he shouldn't have done that. And that was definitely some form of entitlement, right? That was see, the thing is, people don't have shame, right? People don't have shame. And that's why, in as much as Bini people, they say, Bini men are very proud, right? I don't think a Bini man would ever do something like that. I don't think a Bini man will come out and be saying his younger sister that he is supposed to be giving to or that he's supposed to be looking after is not giving. And then he might think it in his head, but he will never voice it. And then now you come on social media to do that. So I just feel really disappointed in him. And I'm very happy the way the court of social media took it. Okay, because he was looking for our sympathy. And I'm sorry, we don't suffer fools gladly anymore. When you bring nonsense to social media, you will get gbas from the court and from the jury. And the jury weren't having it, and we were just like, no, F off, get off your ass, go and work. You're an able man, you have hand, leg. We've seen disabled people that are still working, people that don't even have the bottom limb, they still work, they just have hand and head and waist, and they still work. And you're sitting there shamelessly saying how your younger sister did not help you. It's just an embarrassment. Just get the fuck.
But you know what went against him is the fact that he's a man and he was older.
Exactly.
You understand? Those two went totally against him badly. And he shouldn't be seen. If he's a woman,
we will come to that because I've got something I need to sense check with you guys. But let me go to Samira, and there's something Celia said which I will pick up later, and this is around the court of public opinion, because there were some people that were riding for wisdom. I'll come tell you about it. Yeah. So Samira, my question is, do you think Annie is to be blamed for this, given that she has somewhat enabled the attitude of her brother? This isn't the first time that she's been called out. She has another older brother in the States that said he has requested that his name should not be associated with her or her brand. So do you think she's to be blamed for letting these men just ride on her tailcoats rather than, like Celia said, you've got hand, you've got leg, you've got brain, you sabi God, go and find job?
Well, for me, I don't think so because any sibling will love to help their sibling, whether they're older than them or not. So she was just trying to help a sibling, that's all. And then they now thought that, oh, like she owed them obligation, which, like you said, they're able people, they can go and work for themselves. So she was just trying to assist them, and then everything just backfired.
Okay.
Probably they got too used to her giving them handouts or helping them out, so they think that she
You see, the thing is, how is he not even ashamed? You are not just asking for help for yourself. You
for
are
your
not
family
asking
as
for
well,
help for your wife and then
and the
for your
kids.
for your children. Is she your mother?
Exactly.
Even if it was your mother, at a certain age, you should be able to go
Find
and
for yourself.
drive wheelbarrow. Go and do any work in Unilag self. Just try and do something so that people can see that you're bringing something to the table. You're trying, not just expecting to come and be an Indibia's manager. What experience do you have?
Do you know in our culture, right? Celia and Yori, I don't know if you guys will agree. In Yoruba culture, right, as far as I can remember, if you made it in a family, regardless of your age, if one of your family sibling is wandering on the street begging, whatever, do you know they're not going to only point at that person, they'll point at you in particular.
Yeah.
So say, look at Yori's sister, look at Yori's brother.
I think it's like that in all cultures.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's what made our people believe that they entitled to it. I've had an uncle that came to my cousin's wedding when I went to Nigeria. It wasn't my wedding, He came. I did not talk to you before I came to Nigeria. He did not talk to me. And you saw me at the wedding and said, oh, I need to go back to Abuja. I need to buy flight ticket, to go. And I said, but I tell you, we didn't have any agreement. Oh, do you know he turned around and said to me, how can I talk to him like that? Instead of me to help him, how do I expect him to go back? I'm thinking,
I didn't invite you.
I'm thinking, you're cheeky, bro. You did not speak to me. I did not have you. It's not my wedding. I didn't ask you to come. You said to carry your body from Abuja where you're working to Lagos for Bade's wedding, and you're telling me you're going back and you need help. Is it because I'm from England? No, sorry. It doesn't work. So that's how they are. And I bought family Ashwebi for some people. They still come back and ask me for tailor money.
Yeah.
Seriously. They come back and ask you for tailor money. And some people feel entitled that when you come to Nigeria, you don't come and greet them. They will go and tell my mom, hey, your son came. And I said to my mom, I said, listen, they're your sibling, not my sibling. I did not hold them slippers. I did not have to go and greet anybody. It's my choice if I want to go. So if they want to tell you anything, tell them to come and face me. Because you're coming to tell me I should go and greet Yamorufu. What's my whole with Yamorufu?
Let's move on from Yamorufu.
They feel. So it's our culture, and they feel because they're older, whatever they have to take from you, you have to give it.
So we have to understand that the upbringing, the atmosphere, the kind of four corners you and I grew up is not the same with Annie and the siblings. Also, we have to understand that they grew up as hustlers. I don't know if you guys have anybody in the industry or have ever been in the corridors of the industry, entertainment industry, and go back in time to see how Annie started before even coming into contact with the likes of Plantation Boys. And then from there, you'll be able to understand why some kind of siblings will be like that. What kind of lifestyle? How did you grow up? Did you live every day under your parents? Or were you outside of the house way before you even entered higher institution? How did you grow up? What kind of lifestyle? Have you been a hustler? You know what I mean, hustler. Were you a runs girl? At what age? Then how did these brothers see you growing up to the point where they can now say, when you're calling that girl's name, don't associate it with me? I don't think there is any kind of fight that can happen between me and my siblings, and then I will now see them in that light.
Okay, Jabba Jansis, what you're saying is that probably Annie's siblings saw as a meal ticket. And when she now said she no longer wants to be that, that's where the problem is. But let me ask Celia a question. Celia, the gist within the social media corridors is that Wisdom has always worked for Annie. Wisdom has always run Annie's errands. But since Annie now moved within Swanky Jerry and all these South African people, she's now feeling like she's on top of the world, because prior to Young, Famous, and African, barely anyone knew Annie other than Annie's two-face wives when she came and cried about Pero. That is the narrative. But now she's seen as a reality star on Netflix, and her bankable, she's not a bankable name. It's not as if she wasn't before. So she doesn't want to now be seen as, because Wisdom said, you promised I was going to be your manager. Now she's being courted by some managing PR firms in South Africa. And her brother is not the kind of person she wants to say, oh, this is my manager. So the question to you is, do you think Annie is now thinking, I'm too big for my boots, I can't be around these Cheleke people?
Okay, no, I don't think Annie is thinking that. And Wisdom should borrow himself some wisdom. That his name is a waste of a name. Okay, now Annie is your younger sister. I mean, as a man, what do you aspire to be? Do you aspire to continue to be working for your younger sister just because she's a celebrity? And as you rightly said, nobody really cared for Annie until that Pero issue came out. And now she's on this young black African, whatever, rich African, whatever. And the show has been very successful. That's why a lot of people know Annie and a lot of people love Annie. Okay. Up until then,
I don't know about the love beat sharp.
Well, I don't know about it, but maybe by the time season 2 comes out. But where was this Wisdom all this time? And look at him. If you were Annie, would you want that kind of a person to represent you, for you to say, this is my manager? The way he just look at him. Let's even assume he was not drunk. He wasn't even looking presentable. He wasn't even looking presentable for Annie to be able to bring out and say, this is my manager. And maybe he obviously has some traits that Annie has seen. And Annie feels that, okay, well, this kind of a person cannot push my brand because he doesn't even have what it takes. It's obvious he doesn't have what it takes if he can come on social media and feel this entitled. If your sister promised you something and she no longer fulfilled her promise, why don't you move on? So all this while, Annie has been giving you the fish, but not how to fish. And you stood for it and you accepted it because it was the easy way out. I'm sorry, that boy looks very lazy. And for me as a man, I feel, if you have a family member, Bidemi, I know you want to come in, you will. If you, as a man, if you have a family member that is wealthy and you feel you want to work with them, or you just know that position you have with that person is not going to be everlasting. It's only for a time. So take what you can, gather what you can, build the connections that you can, and move on and set something up for yourself. Wisdom is not a boy. He's not a child. He's a married man. He's a family man. How do you want your wife to look at you when all you do before we pay the kids' school fees, Annie has to be the one to bring? So if the wife has issues with Annie, or if maybe Annie does 1 or 2 things that she's not happy with, she can't even talk, because if she talks, the next term school fees will not be paid. I really don't understand how some people think. Now you've been dependent on Annie, and you've dragged your wife and your children into this level of dependency. I don't know.
He was even saying something about Annie not allowing him to borrow the car to do Uber. I was like, what? I asked you, Celia, I was like, what drugs is he on?
Go and rent a car and do Uber and balance at the end of the day. Don't people do that?
People do that.
Okay, this man is just lazy.
But think about it this way, Jabadantis and Adi, let me ask you this question. She might not be able to give him the physical cash. Maybe she's tired of bankrolling him, as we said he's been doing. But they've got spare cars. Why can't you just borrow him one for him to do the Uber and then return? Because it's not just about giving people money. Okay, go on, Jabadantis.
No. You see those kind of guys, trust me, you give them 1 yard, they take 7. You don't know how many times he's been there to say, please, I just need to use this car quickly. and he won't come back till the third day. You can't give those kind of guys your car expecting them to do Uber. He will be carrying girls from Ayilara to Okmebialem to Surulere. Believe me, he will never be accountable.
Okay, so if he can't do Uber, can Two-Face or Annie, using their connection, get him a job?
Do you know whether they've tried? We've not even heard their side. Yeah. These kind of guys, they would have tried for him. Trust me, they are not that wicked. They're not stupid. That's where I was going to when I said upbringing. Since when has Annie been the older one? The guy may be the older brother biologically, but trust me, Annie is the older one financially, in ways of resources and all these things. They would have helped him many times, trust me. And he keeps failing. For somebody to come, we have somebody like that back in the days in my family. They've done everything. Helped him to gain admission, did so many things. He would drop out of school. They will give him this, give him that. He will come at night, steal the car, drive out, come back in the morning drunk, the car bashed. How long do you keep helping those people? Today, that person is a pastor, and he keeps looking back thinking, I've had so many chances. I failed myself. Nobody failed me. That's the kind of guy that wisdom is. He's not going to realize now until later in the future. Do you think Two-Face will be so wicked with all his connections, with all his tentacles? He wouldn't have done anything to help that guy or the wife.
Yeah. You see, the other thing is, if you have a family, I don't think it's right to even employ them in your organization.
Yeah.
You understand? I will not.
You don't mix pleasure and family.
Yeah. But what they should have done, they've never said it, if they've done it, like what you said. If I'm Annie, I'm going to say, brother, what do you want to do? What business do you want to go into? This is the means I'm going to help you. Go and fish on your own. Yeah. You understand? If they have a spare car, I will give him that spare car. Use it for Uber. Whether he use it to carry woman, whatever. Nobody has mentioned they're giving him a car dash to go and do something. They've tried to employ him. They tried to feed him, to give him something to go and feed his family. No, it was the wrong move. Do you understand? Because when you don't employ family in your business, when they run it down, you can't sack them. You want to sack them, they'll call the whole family meeting on you. Exactly. If you sack him, how's the children going to go to school? How is he going to feed his brother's son? How is he going to feed his wife? It's a business you're running. Do you understand? So for me, I think they should help him, right? Whichever way they've been helping him, they might be helping him the wrong way, which they put family sentiment into it. Keep him at a distance. Brother, that's your help. Go. But my uncle, who was an IG, you can't go to him and be like, Uncle Musa will say, do you want to join police? Yes. A lot of family members say, hello, my Jeno. Well, you become an IG and they want to be coming to beg. It doesn't work. So when you keep them to say, look, you're supposed to go and fish, work, get up. You're not disabled. If you're disabled, you're incapable, we cannot run around you, but don't make yourself disabled. So they need, I'm not saying fail, they haven't disciplined the guy themselves.
I think he needs like a psychological help first before they're going to be able to help him, like to give him like a business or something that.
In Nigeria, there's no psychological help, my sister.
You just get talk to him, keep talking to him, like, and because he said he was depressed. That's the reason why he made the recording.
Okay, but so, when you look at it, talking about, okay, you have you're a celebrity and you can recommend him and he can use your name to get. How many of us on this panel, when you want to recommend something, you that you're a social worker, if you want to recommend somebody, sure, you will know that person that you want to recommend will get to that place and not disgrace you. Because you don't want them to go and smear your name. You will want to make sure, okay, I want to recommend XYZ for this job because I can swear on it that XYZ can think on her own. She's good at what she does. Because you want the people you've recommended that person to come back and say, Yori, thank you for that recommendation. You don't want those people to come and say, Yori, which kind of wahala be this? I'm only doing it as a favor. I'm just going to give this person a few months because they are going to put me into trouble.
Exactly.
Do you know how much, if there's a possibility that Annie and Two-Face have recommended him several times and he will go there and embarrass them, and people are just trying to hold on to him because he came highly recommended and then got there and did the directly opposite. If it's me, I'm not going to recommend anybody that I know is going to go there and embarrass me, because I don't want anybody to smear my name and say, oh, we are doing it for you because of Celia. No, let it be that in as much as Celia introduced you, but you are also worthy. You are you have the merits for that position as well.
To add to what you have said, I have some people in that Niger, you know, they're at the top. And I know a lot of people come to me all the time. They will disturb me, introduce me, let this your friends help me, this and that. And I know these people, you don't waste the favor you have. When you want to ask them for something, it must be something tangible. You don't just go there every time, oh, I have this guy, oh, I have that guy, oh, I need this favor. It's going to be about 3 million or 20 million. I have this project. You only go once, and that one must be meaningful. It must be life-changing. I will now be wasting that link for somebody that I know that is not worthy, that I know that if you get there, if you don't come to work late, you will miss one day. If you don't miss one day, you will say, after all, Shebi is my cousin's friend now. Yeah. They will overlook it. Or you will go there and start disrespecting another woman or look at somebody's bum at work. Why would I burn the bridge? Why would I burn the bridge for somebody that I know is not worthy? When I know a day is coming that somebody who is much more worthy, who will prove me right, will come forward. Yeah. Do you get it?
Okay.
I don't have people in post office or Lafwa or all those smaller places. So I don't have any connection there. The people I know are at the top. I will now introduce you that I know you can't manage a mobile phone to go and manage the office. You would destroy my name now.
I get what you're saying.
And you're sorry, just before you come in here. And unfortunately, what you've just described there, Bidemi, this is how the Nigerian system is built. And this is why the Nigerian system is failing. Because all those people in power, they are not, they do not have the experience that it needs. All those positions they're holding, they do not have the experience that it needs. They do not have the training that those positions need. That's why when there's a war in Ukraine and the Nigerians in Ukraine are calling into the Nigerian embassy to say, what do we do? They will tell them, sit tight, go to work as usual. Instead of them to say, register yourself, report to your nearest. Do you understand? They are not educated. Everything is based on connection, who you know and who you don't know. Look at all the presidential candidates. Look at them. Some of them one of them did not even remember his third wife's name. And that is the person that wants to come and lead the country. What qualification does what's that his name again? What qualification does he have? Is it Yahaya? I don't know what Yahaya. What qualification does he have just because he's old and he's from the north? He thinks he automatically qualified. People do not merit where they are, especially in that Nigeria. People are just doing it based on who we have money. And this is why Nigeria is a failing state.
Okay, thanks, Celia. I'm going to move swiftly to another direction. We've seen older siblings, males older siblings that have refused to help their female siblings, and you don't see this entitled attitude from the ladies, calling them out, asking them to do things, making demands. Because what Wisdom was saying, it was somewhat asking Annie to restore his privileges. So, and Annie should do the needful. And that was why I was going to go back to you, Celia, when I said there was some public court of opinion that were saying, oh, Annie should not let the brother be embarrassed like this. She needs to get him a job. She needs to put him back on the payroll. So is our society enabling men to feel entitled, especially when they've got a younger sibling that is either married into money or has her own money?
Yeah, it is. It is. At the end of the day, you cannot, those people that were making those comments, they're all very mad. Do you understand? They are very mad, and they are probably the wisdom in the society. I don't even want to use that word wisdom. What is the opposite of it? Yeah, because they are those people are because which normal person can come and tell my younger sister to restore my entitlement? No, they are the problems.
Can I tell you something? All right, like my sibling, we don't bother each other for anything, right? I could be in South London, go past Kennington 100 times. I don't go to my sister's place unless there's something in Nigeria I need to pass to her on the phone. Or start, the one in America, nobody asks. So it's the upbringing and the education level and the way you've been trained to say you got to stand.
We say Annie and Wisdom are not educated.
They might be, I don't know what level of education they have. Do you understand? I don't know how their family raised them. I don't know the orientation they have. That someone is actually believing my sister or my brother was the key to my joy. Do you understand? Not in my family. If my younger brother, with all the stupidness that I drop out of uni, nobody bothers. He stand on his own and try and find his way.
Yeah, I don't even think it has anything to do with education. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with education, because look at Annie. Annie is a hustler. Hate her or love her, right? She has hustled to get to where she is today.
She's a hustler.
She's a hustler. And what is Wisdom? Can you say the same for him? Look at him. You can't even say the same for him. What has he tried to, apart from under Annie's umbrella, what has he tried to hustle by himself?
Also for drugs.
Yeah. And he gave me drugs. Are you not ashamed? Are you a child?
Who's recanted that? She didn't give him drugs. Jack Bajantis.
He said that.
Yeah, he posted another video and said, "Oh, she never introduced me to drugs. We were doing business."
There was a calling in their family. She probably did. We never know.
But whether she did or not, Adi, is he a child?
We know he's not.
Is he a child?
That family, there's something wrong with their family.
Let me go to Jagba Jantis. Jagba Jantis, what do you make of men that are chanting that? What is he supposed to do? How is he supposed to feed his wife? That Annie should restore his privilege. The same question I've asked Celia and Adi. Is our society enabling men to feel entitled to monies of their younger sibling? Either is married to wealth or they've made their own money. Because as a man, you said you expect a man to have money.
No, Yoruba culture. I don't know about any other one.
Jagba Jantis.
So what if Annie never made it?
Exactly.
Yeah. What if she never made it? What if Two-Face lost the footings many years back, like the other artists? What if there is no money? Would he have said the same thing? What if the other brother in America is the rich one? You know, the society is what it is. We understand that, but at the same time, it's not an excuse to give a lazy man the mouthpiece to talk, to talk down on the fingers that have been feeding you. What if she has kidney problem, renal failure or something? Would he give his own kidney
to her,
to Annie? Would he say, "Oh yes, my sister, she's always been there for me. Take one of mine"? Of course not. That's the last.
No, we don't know. We don't know.
He will not see. He won't.
He will not.
He does not look like someone that
will go online and disgrace the sister
and disgrace
like
your sister.
He will not.
This is, some people might be an animal like that. When it comes to his sister, might be able to give up more than.
No, I don't agree with that. This is not something small. You cannot preserve the dignity of your sister.
When he knows that his sister is the breadwinner.
Because by doing that video, what he was expecting that people would go for Annie and rip the carpet from under her. After she just came out with this her rich young African.
No, I disagree. He will not think they will rip the carpet. He will think the way the public will go against her will make her change her mind. And
but you know that when people put things like that on social media, you get the insults.
Let me tell you, as we all know, this guy was a drug addict or whatever he is. So he's not going to reason to that level.
We don't have any confirmed reports that he's a drug addict too.
Well, you can tell now, Abba. Can you not visualize
you on social media?
This is why I call you community, because you're covering up for these people. It is obvious. Yeah. It is clear. If that guy walked into your house the way he was, the way he looks, I'm sure you're going to tell him, "Excuse me, can you just go outside for a minute?" It's obvious. So he's under the influence. He's not. I don't think he's under the influence at the time, but his thinking doesn't reason to that level of she's going to lose everything. His thinking is the public will attack her. She will give me back what she needs to give me. She will give me what I need to, or she's not going to be mean to me that way. That's what he's thinking.
In this Nigeria where everywhere is hard.
Everybody's
in Nigeria, this economic climate where everybody's hustling, and you think that people are not even trying to be what they are not to make money. and look how this half of the Nigerian men now are now cross-dressing to do comedy just because
those
they
are
money in it.
Good.
Those ones.
Can't he go and start his own comedy
It's
and
a
bring
survival
what he
instinct. When
He
survival
can borrow
instinct
Annie's
kicks in,
dress as
he will
well.
do everything.
Sorry, Jawadanti, you were saying something.
It is survival instinct. You see those guys cross-dressing to do
Exactly.
comedy. It's a survival instinct.
Yes, where is
want
his own
to eat.
survival
They
instinct?
want
And
to
the
put
where is
food
his
on
own?
the table.
His
He should go and do the same thing.
He should go and do the same thing.
No, he's not going to do the same thing. He has his sister.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. In
See,
close,
when I was doing IT in
Mm.
Nigeria, I had some uncles. They were wealthy. They were well-to-do. VGC, Lekki. You know, none of them saw people like us as the kind of guy that they would allow to come around their children. They were looking at us like bad influence because I lost my dad very early, 1996, you know, and a lot things went down a bit. And allowing people like us to come around them, we that we've seen survival instinct, is like bad influence on their children. They wouldn't let us get close. The time that we were supposed to bond as cousins, they didn't give us the chance. Now today we're better. Not only better than their children, even better than them. We've seen where they're going to. They've reached their end. We were still coming. And the kind of people in our class, the things they control now is far bigger than what they thought was big. And they were doing like this at the time. Now, if that wisdom was thinking like people like me, he wouldn't be there sitting down thinking, yes, so without Annie Dibia, he wouldn't be anybody. You know, why will you sit down and think it is right for you to go on social media and make noise and say, oh, my uncles, oh, they didn't care for me, they didn't look after me when they had all the connections, they didn't recommend me to get job here and there, because they had their own battles. I'm in my own battles now. I know some of my cousins will be saying, Mr. Jax is there. He's not sending me this money. He's not helping me with this connection. He's not doing this. I have my own battles in my house. Two-Face has his own battles. Annie Dibia has her own battles. My uncle at the time, well, maybe they didn't help me. They probably had their own battles. No matter how free the boys' quarter was, the boys' quarter was free, you know, nobody was there. They would have said, oh, take one room, you know. But they had their reasons. I'm not going to fault them on that. Now I'm in my own. I can't bring a third party into my house. I have a wife here. I want to respect her space. They may say, oh, it is the wife that is not allowing me to help them. But I try my best. I send money when I can. The ones that stay close to me, I try to send them things. The ones that are forming big boy, they don't want to talk to me, I leave them in their angle. But there is only a limit to how much I can help family. So we can't condemn Two-Face and the wife for not doing that. You bring family into your house, you start fighting each other. Sometimes you have to keep them at arm's length. It doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you don't want to accommodate them, but you have to think about yourself first. And if you know that this guy is a bad influence, you are not going to allow him to come too close. Maybe you've done it before, you've seen the result, you don't want that again. You know,
and Bidimi, that's how you would bring the family into your home. And the day you would tell them, please you shouldn't put your leg on the chair, or oh, you didn't wash the plate. You are now the bad person. They will now go and report you to another family member that could not accommodate them. And the other family member will now come and be talking. Can you imagine? It's not just chair. But when it was their turn to accommodate, they couldn't. And let's not forget about Wisdom's wife. I mean, as a woman in this day and age, so you are happy for your husband to be under his younger sister. I don't understand. So the wife
here, let me ask you. So if the roles were reversed and Wisdom was the younger brother, you wouldn't have a problem with that?
If Wisdom was Annie's younger brother,
and
I would still have a problem with it.
You won't have a problem?
Yes, I would still have a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
If Annie was the older sister of Wisdom, I would still have a problem with it. The reason I will have a problem with it is that you're a man, you are married, you have children. So you will not be waiting for another woman who is also married, has children, to be bankrolling you and your family. That is stupidity.
Okay, what if it's a legit thing? He was working for her. We have instances where rich siblings employ that they work. For instance, I won't say Remy Atiba is richer than Kemi, but Remy and Kemi work together. They've produced. They're the ones that produce King of Boys.
Yeah.
So you've seen instances where siblings have worked together. So can he not do that for wisdom? Like all these holidays that they take, can you not just sacrifice as a privileged person and just
no, I'm not going to sacrifice. It depends, okay? It depends on if that sibling is worth it. You have made example with these Adetiba sisters. Of course, because those ones, look at them, there's levels. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say wisdom is not on their level. No, but what I'm saying is those two, they know what they're doing. Does it ever look like wisdom had Annie saw wisdom as somebody responsible enough for her to sign that managerial contract to? Does it look like they ever signed a contract? Because from what I see, I don't even think Annie felt wisdom was responsible enough for her to put her career in his hands. You have to be recommendable. So people that are going about saying, oh, my brother, you have to be recommendable. If they recommend you to you, would you hire you? That's the question you should be asking. You have to be recommendable. You cannot expect me to recommend you to somebody when you will go there and do the opposite of what I told the person you will come and do. And so for that reason, and anybody that is working with a family member, yeah, because now these two Adetiba sisters, they both have.
So it's brother and sister.
Okay, brother and sister, yeah. They would have walked to a level where the two of them can stand independent of each other. But it's very obvious that wisdom has not even begun to think of an exit strategy of how he can stand on his own 2 feet if Annie is not there. What if Annie dies tomorrow? So Two-Face will not carry the load with all his 100 children and on top, and add your own as children too and start training. Do you not have sense? If you are working for a family member and you do not have a proper contract, yeah, like other people that have been employed in that company, you're wasting your time.
True.
You should do the smart thing, get yourself a contract, or if you cannot get a contract, gather the money you can gather and go and start your own thing. Because that family business is not going to last forever. Because that family member that you are working for is going to get married tomorrow, and then the wife will start saying, why is this your brother taking the piss? I've been watching this Candy series, yeah? And you can see that the people that have been working with her from the dot, those people are now doing anyhow, and the new manager they brought in now is not having it.
Philip, don't take shit.
You understand? So at the end of the day, when you are working for a family member and you do not have a proper contract, you need to know that there is always an end date. Even the jobs with contracts still have an end date. So why do you think it's okay to work for a family member and just for the rest of your life? What is wisdom's plan, future plan? What is it?
Okay. In closing, thanks, Celia. That's a very good point. In closing, you know, there's a Nigerian, I wouldn't say it's a Nigerian, it's a Yoruba adage that says one rich man among 6 poor people is still a community of poor people. Jabajanti, is that correct? Yeah. So at what point should a rich sibling, you know, empower their less successful sibling, or at what point should they cut them off if it's not yielding any success? I'll go to you, Samira, for that, and then I'll go to Celia and Jabajanti. It's a loaded question, I know.
Yes, I'm actually thinking about it. If I'm gonna say, let me say, for example, if it's me, yeah, and my brother, he's not acting up the way he's supposed to be acting, as the eldest, and I'm rich, I think the best thing I would do is I will not include him into my business. I will give him money to go and start his own, just so I won't have any issues with him, and for respect as well. Because I can talk. I know you guys think I'm quiet. I can talk, yeah? And I'm I love people. I love my siblings and stuff. But when I see you're not doing the right thing, I can give you tough love. And my tough love is really tough, yeah? So, and I don't want it to be, come to an extent where you think I'm disrespecting you. So if I have money, I'd rather just give them for them to start their own family, their own business.
Thank you. Tough love. Celia. So at what point do you then empower the less successful sibling? How would you empower them? Or at what point do you then cut them off if it's not yielding any success?
I think number one, I have to see that you're trying. I have to say that you're trying to be independent of me, right? So except I really need you to, I can give you a job and act as if, okay, in as much as I own this company, but you're going to be the managing director, I'm just going to be a silent whatever, but you're going to be the managing director. You have a contract, we sign a contract, and you would follow all the laws of employment and all. And that is, there's nothing wrong with you employing a family member in a manner like that, right? But for me to employ a family member that does not really have that education, right? And they just need a favor, they need help. No, I will not employ you, because I'm not going to employ you to be the driver or be the gate man or to be the errand boy in my company, because you're never going to be happy with me. Even though you know that you don't have the qualification that it needs, you're still going to be saying, can you imagine? I'm your brother and your sister, and all you can employ me to do is to come and be cleaning ground and be carrying your bag. People are going to put that in your ear and say, can you imagine? Is that not your brother's company? Look at what he's using to do houseboy and cleaner. Because that is how the mind of people work. They will never see that that is also a family member that helped you when you were not earning anything, and now you're able to put money on the table for your family's school fees, children's school fees, pay rent. They're not going to see it that way. So as Samira said, what I will do, come, what business do you want? What business do you want to do? Okay, here's 2 million naira. Here's 10 million naira, depending on what you want to do. But please manage this business well, because if it fails, I will not be
coming back.
I'm telling you, and when I do that, I do it. And I'm the kind of person, when I've told you something, I'm never going to go back on it. So when I tell you, here is 10 million naira, this is the business you want to do, here's the money for it. When it fails, please don't come back to me. And if it fails and you want to come back to me, I need to see how you tried for it.
So you will give them a second.
Yeah, no, not even a second chance, because I need to be able to see that you did everything within your power. Do you understand? I need to see that you did everything within your power. You invested that money well. It's not that I gave you 10 million, you spent 5 million on holiday and car, and then you invested only 5 million, and then 6 months later, the business folds in because you didn't invest enough money into it. You know, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Jabajantis, to empower or to cut off?
When we were growing up, we had, the kind of business my dad was doing, and my dad's older sister, they were very, they were blessed. They had money, they had trucks, drivers, cocoa was a big man business then. And my daddy's older sister too, she had chains of businesses, all over the place with drivers here and there, so many managers. And there were some younger uncles. They helped them times upon times over. Okay, go and try this. Okay, go and start again, try this. And you already know from the beginning that this is the end of this thing. This is how it's going to end. But let's do it anyway, so that the society will let us breathe. And you give them that money, you set them up, and the next thing, 6 months down the line, they're already back crying.
The money has finished.
It didn't work out. The money did not, this and that. The next thing, they're planning with your house help. Can you help me steal a little bit of curry or rice? Let me put it here. Don't let Oga see it. You know, that kind of thing. We too, we did it. We will help them to steal food from the pantry, give to them. And these are people that our parents were looking up to, that, oh, in the next 6 months, this guy should be,
should blow.
He should blow. He should be strong. He should be solid on his own. And they will never, no matter how much you help this kind of people, they will never turn out well.
They will.
They're just like parasites. They will come, they will take, they will go, squander, come back again and ask, no matter how much you try to set them up. So when do you draw the line and say, you know what, I'm not pouring my salt into a bottomless pit anymore? I've seen.
Do you think that's the point where Annie is now?
Yeah,
that's
probably.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that's where she is. That's where they may have smoked together to make him feel comfortable. They may have sat down together, take drugs together, whatever, just to make it look like, you know what, You are not an outcast. You may be rich, you can sit with us. It's okay. We're all the same. Don't abuse it. I'm not ruling out that they smoked together or took drugs together. Of course, they must have done all those things. You don't even have to be a celebrity. Once you're an artist, you've already started smoking weed in the studio. If there are girls are sitting around them, they smoke together, they do things together. From there, you pick the one you want to marry. You're not going to tell me now that Naira Marley's girl is going to come and not say, oh, of course, he smokes weed in the house or he smokes weed in the car. What is wisdom telling us that we don't know already?
Yeah. Yuri, just before you round up, just a quick example. I know of someone, right, where he gave his cousin in Nigeria, family member in Nigeria, money. And he said, let's start a business together, right? Gave this person the money. A week after he gives this person the money, this cousin in Nigeria that received the money that is meant to start this business calls this guy and says, bro, okay, I've received the money. So before we start this business, I need a car. I need to move. Now, this is not a business that he was going to be doing at home for you to say, oh, he says, I need a car. I need to move because the house I'm in, there's no borehole. So I need to move to a house that has
not needed for the business.
No, it's not. They told him, open a business, maybe an eatery or something like that. And he says, no. I don't want to open that kind of a business. As in open a business that can market itself because people would eat. He said, no, I don't want that kind of business. I want to open a boutique. Then I can employ somebody to be in the boutique and I'll be cruising. And I'm thinking, but you yourself don't even have a job. So you want to open a boutique and then employ somebody who is employing you, who is going to be paid. So you will pay yourself and then pay that person. And obviously, the money and everything, this guy squandered the money. This was like 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. See, today now, that person they gave money to in Nigeria to start a business that would have helped him. He's married. He cannot even afford to pay his yearly rent. He's still asking that cousin, can I have money for rent? So sometimes when you don't lay your foundation, years later, you will suffer it. And your wife that you didn't know that time, you will marry her, she'll come and suffer the children. The same thing. The children that were in heaven, that have not chosen their parents,
they were minding their business.
They will come and suffer your inability to be able to strategize and plan.
Well, I think we'll leave here. We've kind of over trashed this. This entitlement attitude. I'm entitled to my siblings' wealth. Should really stop. Look, it's not easy making money in this 2022 that we are in. Like, everybody is thinking outside the box to remain relevant, to bring out content, to dress as a woman, to make money, to do different things. So, Mr. Wisdom that lacks wisdom, go out there, get some wisdom and be useful. Because really and truly, as a woman, we're always second guessed. And this is a woman that's still trying to find her feet. Also, she's well known. But right now, I think this is she's getting to that place where she's known as Annie. Not Annie Two-Face, although all that thing on the show was about Two-Face, but that's another story for another day. So wisdom, gain some wisdom and be useful to yourself so that you don't continue to be a liability. And this is for every wisdom that was in that comment section and said, chanting that Annie should give him his privilege. What privilege? What privilege? So let's be respectful of other people's money. Stop building houses on people's money. Stop making plans on people's sweat.
Stop marrying.
I know it's not easy. Some people are gifted. They can think of a business thing and boom, learn from them. So I think we'll leave it at that. So we wish Annie herself all the best. Stop being an enabler. Okay? All the enablers, they need to stop enabling people that that you're just fetching water into a basket. It's not going to yield any fruit. So we can't say it's more than it is. So guys, until next week when we come your way with another exciting topic, panelists that are just as gorgeous as sunlight. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.